What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And tonight, we have a real special guest. Tonight, we have the big man from California. We're talking about JAH MIKEY one in the building tonight. What's going on, big boss?
Bless up, Muscle. Give thanks for the link, We're just there up on the ends. Cali, way out in the bush, just to hold it,
Yeah, thank you. You know what I mean? Whenever I think about California and hear about California, anything reggae, you're one of the first names that always come to mind.
Wow. All right. Give thanks.
Yeah. How long you been doing your thing out there now?
I moved to California in 2007. So I've been out here. This will be the 13th year.
Yeah. And where were you before that?
I moved out here from West Virginia. I went to West Virginia University and I graduated from there. And that's kind of how my DJ career started, from doing college radio at the university. And then from there, playing parties. And then from there, after school was done, I had some friends that came out here to California. I came and visited and just loved the vibes and the culture and just stayed out here. So,
yeah. Okay. And you started DJing from in college, you said?
Yeah.
What type of music were you playing then?
It was always reggae and dancehall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long ago was that there?
That was, I started playing music, like DJing and taking it serious. 2004, I started doing the radio.
2004.
Yeah. So 16 years now. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wow. That's a hot minute now.
For real.
Yeah. You said reggae and dancehall. When was it that you actually connected with reggae and dancehall and fell in love with reggae itself?
Well, I mean, I was always interested in it. My parents played, like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff and all that when I was a kid. And then as I got older and like in high school, after going through like alternative music and rap music and American culture, I got back into reggae music more hardcore. And then it just, related more to my lifestyle at the time in high school, and then got into the whole Rastafarian culture. And yeah, the music just correlated with the things that I was believing in and, associating with in my life at the time. So it just made everything come together and elevate all at once, So from high school and then from college, basically in college, they didn't have a great program. And I was used to listening to like more up to the time stuff because I grew up in central New York, right outside of Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I was I tell people a big influence was in the summertime. My mom's from Long Island. So we used to go to Long Island where my grandparents lived in the summertime. And they used to have a 7-day reggae marathon on Stony Brook University Radio, which was commercial free for 7 days. And I still think they do it.
Yeah.
July 4th. And because it's on Long Island and it's close to all the big sounds in New York, you would have like Stone Love pass through and play a segment. You'd have Earth Ruler play a segment. You'd have Sir Tommy play a segment. You'd have At East play it. You know what I mean? So you got to hear that was my first real introduction to a lot of music at once. 7 days nonstop, commercial free. So big up to Stony Brook. And then basically when I went to college at West Virginia, they didn't have a strong reggae program. So I was like, we got to do better than this. And then that's how it basically evolved,
I see from there. Okay. So then you got introduced to sound business from early then.
Yeah. I mean, whenever that was, but yeah, you know what I mean? It evolved from that time.
Yeah. And who were some of the artists you were also interested in at that time also?
I mean, when I really, that 2004, 2005 and the Rasta influence that I was into at the time and still am, but it was Sizzla, Anthony B, Luciano, Capleton, like Warrior King, Just Bus, Perfect, Chesedek, Phantom Moja, Richie Spice, Chuck. It was like that whole, it was a really great time in music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
That was around, I think, Drop Leaf and Seasons and all those Hard Times dropped and all of that. That was like, wow. That was like the cultural takeover. I've never seen anything like that before.
It hasn't happened. Yeah. That was when culture was bigger than dancehall. It was amazing.
Landslide at that time there. Wow. And at that time there, had you gone to Jamaica yet, or you hadn't actually been there yet?
Well, it was right then. My first trip was 2005, 2006 for New Year's. And before that time, I always checking up on the stage shows and keeping up to date with everything. So that year, I got to go to Island Explosion and Champions in Action. We went to Jam, Cocoa Teas, Jam in Clarendon that he doesn't even keep anymore. But it was just like, it was just, you know what I mean? Overwhelming, but also just a great experience all at the same time, you know?
Yeah, for real. And were you cutting dubs at that time there?
No, so I didn't cut dubs till I came to California. I moved here in 2007. I've been playing music for about 4 years. 2008, I was like, all right, I need to start cutting dubs so then people take me more seriously. They're like, yeah, he plays reggae and dancehall, but now I have a sound and now I have like a brand. And they're like, all right, he's taking this as serious as you could take it. So that's how it started in 2008. Basically, JAH MIKEY One sound system was born, you know?
What were some of the early dubs that you had cut that time there?
The first artist I cut was Chesedek. And it was like I was making links with artists that I was a fan of more than what was going to be effective in Sound Clash. So that was something that developed later. And then also was a wake-up call and a realization of the expense of cutting Dubplates because I'm stepping into the business by myself. And you know, I approach an artist and saying, hey, let's get some dubs. I'm a young sound. I'm a Rasta sound. You want to give me some dubs? And they're like, are you crazy? You know? Yeah, it doesn't work. So I was like, all right, I can't get a whole bunch. Let me get one or two and then just build. You know what I mean? But
that's funny. Wow. Because I even know, you see, like California, you guys are known for like a heavy Rasta cultural vibe over there, opposed to like when you come to East Coast, like New York and over there, that's more dancehall. Why do you think over there is more of heavy in culture over there?
I mean, I think it's just the atmosphere and the environment. You know, it's very rural. There's a few major cities, but it's far from everything else. And California is so big. It's one state that's as big as the East Coast, you know, and there's so many different sections and pockets and atmospheres and environments. But I think people really relate to reggae music and Rasta culture and the whole ganja culture. It just all relates to the people of California, so familiar, you know, with all the topics in reggae music that they embrace it. Like it really, I feel like if you check the regular people in California from north to south, reggae music is the music for California, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's always, I've noticed that from a long time. Usually you guys get a lot of artists that you wouldn't see East Coast per se, but once they come over to California and West Coast, it's like they have some of the biggest hits over there that people in the East Coast, for some strange reason, they're never heard or not even listening to. Yeah,
completely different. And like, I've done some promotions and put on shows from time to time, and you have to focus on the roots artists and, you know, real reggae music with a live band. Nobody, even in my little area, like unless you go to the city, no one wants to see a track show. You have to have the band, you have to have the whole presentation, and then you're going to get the turnout and you're going to get, you know, the response that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's true, because you have to present it the way how they think it should sound. From how they know it to go.
Yeah, of course. And in my area, it's like they want the band on the stage. They don't want to see their artist with the DJ. They're like some type, they don't feel like they get their money's worth. You know what I mean?
That's true. At what part of California are you in?
I'm about an hour northeast of Sacramento. It's in between Sacramento and Lake Tahoe. So Nevada City.
Nevada City. Okay, yeah, I heard of there. Yeah,
man.
Okay, question. How did you even come up with your name, JAH MIKEY One Sound System?
Well, my name is Michael, and just embracing Rastafari and living a Rasta life. I was like, that just made sense to me back in the day when everyone was like, we have to put JAH first, like JAH Mason and JAH Cure. So I was like, all right, JAH MIKEY, and just JAH MIKEY One. It wasn't really too in-depth thought behind it, but it just, you know what I mean, had a nice little ring, and I needed a name for the radio, and that's how it happened, and just kept it moving, you know?
Yeah, that's true. With talking about radio, I see you seem to be playing on about 3 different stations right now?
Yeah, well, I haven't done Roadblock in a minute, but I'm still affiliated with Roadblock. But Roadblock in New Jersey, Roadblock Radio, who's the only all-Caribbean radio station in New Jersey, I believe. and Irish and Chin, the Sound Chat Radio. And then I have a program here in Nevada City at our local community radio, KVMR FM. So, yeah.
So you're strongly, you're in radio. You love radio. What is it about radio you love so much?
I mean, I think it was me having the opportunity to get involved in it so long ago. So now it's just become like a staple in my life that I just somehow or another have been able to keep a radio show going. Because even when I went from college to out here, I pretty much immediately got involved in the station here and linked up with the other 2 reggae DJs. And, you know, just it's a good opportunity and it's a great platform. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That makes sense. How important is radio where you are right now, especially when it comes from a reggae standpoint?
It's great. Like, it's a completely different audience in my local community at KVMR, where our station is really respected and people listen to it like dedicated listener throughout the day. It's one of those stations in this local area where people would just like have a radio in their house in a corner that will always be turned on to this community radio, because it's an alternative station. It plays all different types of music, but it's community based. And it just gives a lot of the locals a different ear on things that are happening around here, and then eclectic music all the time. But yeah, so many people that wouldn't log on to the internet, because we live rural, it's country. So a lot of people, I know people that don't have TV and stuff, they just listen to radio. So it's like, you know what I mean? That's their entertainment. And you run into someone in town and be like, yo, I listen to your program on Thursdays all the time, that you're not even aware of it. But it's just a platform that's there. It's important to people out here that don't have all the other means of entertainment, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's get into some of your clashes here, because I know you seem to be collecting trophies left, right, and center for a while now.
Yeah, man, clashing. Crazy, right?
Yeah. When was some of your early clashes? When did you actually start to get into clashing?
Well, I always was into clashing, but I never, even my first clash, I'll give you the story as quick as I can, but the first clash I was approached to be in, they wanted to do a 45 clash before a real clash, and I was going to do a 45 like shootout with another DJ. And then after that was going to be the Dubplate clash. This was 2014, which is in Mendocino County, which is about 4 or 5 hours from here, which is even more rural than where I am.
Yeah. Okay.
But big up to Guerrilla Takeover. That's a sound located there in Mendo and Laytonville. Had their 18th anniversary, so almost 20 years of building sound system culture. So they were ready to put on a clash. Originally, I was going to be in a 45 shootout, but then something happened where the other contestants in the Dubplate clash, it didn't work out. So then he links me back and he says, all right, we're just going to do one clash, but it's all Dubplate. Do you want to be in it? And the other guy, Dr. Rock, who was going to do the 45 shootout with me, said he was going to do it. So it was just, I was like, all right, it was just an opportunity to do it. I didn't even think I was ready, to be honest, because I didn't think I had enough dubs.
Yeah.
You know? So I did it out of a whim, but I really prepared, and I had like all of the little dubs that I had. I was just so, I don't know if prideful is the word, but just prepared with them to use them in the clash to be effective, whether I was going to make a speech around it or it was going to apply to a certain sound or a person. I was just like really prepared, I guess, more than everyone else.
Yeah.
And then I ended up making it to tune for tune.
Okay.
And the clash, actually, California has been known to have biasness in clashes. So the clash that night was judged up until tune for tune. And they had Mega Bonton there as a judge. Doogie Ranks was there. They had a couple other people in sound systems in California. I think Black Glove Sound, Junglist was a judge. So they had judges for the first, I think it was 3 rounds, then dub for dub, just to make it fair, because one of the sounds in the clash was from right there in that region.
Got you.
So I won and made it to tune for tune because I was winning every round due to the judges' ratings, you know, like speech, song, crowd response. So I was going through like that. I made it to tune for tune, and then they, for some reason, they made the audience vote for tune, no longer judges.
Okay.
So I made it to the end. I think it was best of 7, he beat me by one song at the end, but I really performed way better, I feel like, than that sound that was Small Axe Sound out of Oregon, but they're affiliated with some sounds in Europe. But due to that, it just gave me a confidence that I didn't know I had in Sound Clash. So the whole thing was kind of an experiment in a sense, because I didn't think I was ready for it. I prepared really well, and I used speech and just elevated myself to the end. And one of the great things that happened in that clash that a lot of people don't realize, and I'm really proud that in my first clash, one of the sounds, Mountain Lion, actually had Mega Bantan come on their sound during the clash and do like a live dub plate.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I looked at Leo and I said, yo, you can do that? And he's like, yeah, you could do whatever you want. And at the time, Sammy Dread, and Junior Demas were parring in Sacramento, and I was parring with them a little bit.
Okay.
So I told them to come up to the clash. So they were in the building and they saw what happened. And I'm like, yo, you guys ready? Sammy and Demas. And they're like, yeah, whatever you say. So then the third round came, and I brought Sammy and Demas on at the end of the round, and they did like a freestyle, and Sammy sang like Early One Sunday Morning, and then Demas came in and he said, I forget what the line was, but he made like two lines, the stop and start rhyme, and said, JAH Mikey fucked the place up, and the whole place bust, you know? And it was so spontaneous because the other guy he planned, I don't know if he paid Mega or whatever, but I was just like, it got caught off guard. But then I invited them to the clash. It just worked out. It was a great night of Sound Clash that elevated my career. So that was 2014. I didn't win. I made it to Dub for Dub. And then the following, that was in, I think, November, October. And then in March, they had the Border Clash, which is pretty much was the most consistent and still is the most consistent Sound Clash in California, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Which has been running, I mean, it's got to be like 10 years plus, because due to my performance, this is the thing. Like, I've been juggling reggae and dancehall music in Cali. I was out here for 7 years and wasn't really getting the respect or the bookings that I needed. I took the Sound Clash, and all these people that didn't really rate me from Oakland that were there and from San Fran, they were just like, whoa. I had like literally, it was a game changer for me. All of a sudden they're like, yo, we like they never gave me a chance before, basically. But then when I took that chance and used it and prepared and performed at the level that I did, these guys are like, all right, we want you in Border Clash, even though I don't have that heavy of a dub box at the time. So then I went to Border Clash, and the sound Gorilla Takeover, who is probably one of the heaviest loaded sounds in California, dub box wise, they were in the clash. They were the promoters of the first clash in 2014 and 15. Me and them went to Dub for Dub, and I beat them in Dub for Dub by one song at the end. So that was my first win in 2015. Then 16, I went back to Border Clash and won that again. And then in 17, I won it again. So I won it 3 years in a row. And then I just said, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then at that time, every year in January, or for New Year's in January, for the last 5 years, I've played Ibamar's Dance in Jamaica and Linstead, Sound the Alarm. Yeah. Because I made a relationship with Ibamar, big up Ibamar and the whole of Linstead. When he came to his first show in America was our town, Nevada City, here in California. So I made the link with Ibamar at that time when he just like bustin' was hot, and I emceed for him, and he had me come do like another show where I introduced him to the crowd. So then anyway, he welcomed me to play his festival for the last 5 years in Linstead, which has been a great opportunity and has gotten just humongous year after year. But in that time, every year when I went to Jamaica, I ended up partaking in a sound clash for the last 5 years. Wow. So that was another thing that was keeping me busy, but also competitive. And then also performing in Jamaica, where the people, like a lot of stuff here, you have to kind of convince them that it's good or force feed it to the audience. Everybody knows what's happening. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was such a pleasure to just play my dubs and get a great response, you know? Yeah.
And what's a clash scene like out in California?
It needs work. It's not that big, but it's alive. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of sounds out here that are heavy loading up their dub box and cutting dubs that people aren't aware of. We just need more action on the battlefield, and maybe more promoters or more sounds step out and say, all right, you know what I mean? Let's just do this.
Okay. Do you guys get like a lot of like the Mighty Crowns, the Gyros, the Bass Odysseys and stuff like that?
It's happened. Mighty Crown came to Chico one time, and it was like not that great of a turnout. Chico's a weird place, but they have a college there.
Okay.
California State University over there. So there's a lot of college kids. But just recently in Sacramento, we've had Bass Odyssey, Metro Media, Stone Love.
Okay.
Nasheen came out last year. They're trying to build up the scene in Sacramento, which is an hour from me. But
Yes.
you know what I mean? We're trying to get it to be more Caribbean and Jamaican based for parties and juggling. But the next step was Clash, you know?
Got you. Since we're talking about Clash, this leads us up to the big thing here happening this Sunday. We're talking about the Quarantine Clash here. All right. What could we expect from you this Sunday?
Well, definitely entertainment and good music, and hopefully things that people have never seen in a live clash or heard before. Because like I was telling Washi today, I've clashed before in so many different scenarios and situations, to a hardcore dance hall, to the countries side of California. This is going to be the first time from home in front of the computer, you know, presenting, you know, your presentation of your sound to the world. So it's going to be different. It's going to be something that I feel, like I said, something that no one's ever seen or heard before. So, but entertainment and full of music.
Yeah, but somebody like you that's been doing radio, this is now basically radio with a webcam attached to it. That's how you should basically see it right now.
Yeah, that's cool. With the competition, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And talking about that, I've been seeing you and Bass Foundation Roots going back and forth with some stuff on social media. I see what's going on there.
Yeah, man, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But he kind of copied me, Muscle, right? It wasn't his original. Did you see the last one? Why you
say that? Which was the last one?
He had the car in the truck, or you didn't see it?
Yes, I seen that one where he drove over the truck. Yeah, so when you actually got the call for a Quarantine Clash, how did you feel, and were you ready to go and say, yes, this is the real opportunity that JAH Mikey once been looking for?
I mean, of course, like in this time right now, we can't really say no. And last year I had 6 clashes. So my goal for this year was to have more than 6 clashes, which I knew wasn't going to be easy. But yeah, then this whole catastrophe happened. You kind of have to change up your game plan a little bit. But yeah, what they're doing and the platform that they're on, it's got to be one of the biggest for sound system culture and clash culture right now. So to be involved in that, and them to reach out to me, and the only sound from the US too, yeah, it's a great honor, and I'm really appreciative of it, you know?
Yeah, for sure, because I knew you were even in US Rumble. Was it last year or year before?
Both years, yeah.
Both years you were in.
Yeah, because last year Rhythm Force dropped out. I don't know if you remember, and Chin called me 5 days before. So I did. So it's crazy. Like I did US Rumble with 5 days. And then this year in January, I went to Jamaica and I clashed Super Gold and Avatar. That was like less than 5 days. And then this one as well is going to be like all these clashes is less than a week of preparation.
Yeah. Well, you always stay prepared. When you're ready, you just know it's just time to go. You understand?
Totally.
Crazy. We're talking about this disaster. We're talking about we're under quarantine. I'm in Toronto right now, and we're under quarantine. What's going on out in California where you are right now?
I mean, our county has been pretty good as far as I can see. The last time I looked, it was like 50 cases in our entire county.
Okay.
But I live in the country, so my life in the country doesn't change too much. But when you go into town, everybody's masked up and keeping their distance, and yeah, it's just a different vibe, you know. It's a little eerie vibe kind of, because everybody's a little bit afraid of everyone for uncertainty, and yeah, you know, everyone wants to stay safe and avoid any unnecessary sickness.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And are you guys on lockdown right now, quarantine? What are you guys up to?
I mean, I don't think you're not supposed to go to town and stuff, but honestly, anything that I guess isn't essential is closed. Everything you can still get takeout food and the grocery stores open. And other than that, like, yeah, all the bars, all the venues, all the social gathering places have been completely shut down. And even the radio station I haven't been able to go to for the last month. They don't want anyone even at the station. So yeah.
Okay. So I guess anything you're doing, you have to do it from the house.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
So sticking with that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because even over here, it's like it's really unless you're an essential service, everything else is closed down right now. Malls, everything is like, wow. And as you said, people are walking around with masks, gloves. It looks like everybody's a surgeon or coming off of a construction site.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Crazy. Before I get you out of here, is there any warning shots you want to tell Base Foundation Roots right now before this quarantine starts?
Yeah, man, he needs to know already. You know what I mean? I've been experiencing this clash thing for the last few years, and not going to take him any lighter than a next competitor. You know what I mean? Just because he might not have the experience, or I don't even know the dub box, because I'm really not that familiar with him or his music or him in Clash. You know what I mean? I really am kind of clueless in a sense about it. So I'm interested to see what he's going to bring and present. And I'm ready for anything. But yeah, just realize JAH MIKEY One sound is a bad sound from Cali, a bad Rasta sound. And we always bring our A game, you know?
All right. Definitely this Sunday at the Quarantine Clash, we're going to be looking out for you. Hopefully, if you win the whole tournament, we'll get back with you and have another interview and talk about the whole thing and how it went. Right?
We love that, Muscle. Give thanks for the time and, you know, the link and everything, the energy. Keep pushing the culture. Lots of respect.
100% JAH MIKEY. Big up yourself. Well, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinemusichut.com.